Hi everyone, welcome back to Box Delights. Today I'm playing First in Flight. This is a game that I'm working on with the team from Artana and Genius Games. I've designed the solo rules for this. So that's what I want to demo for you today. This is a prototype. Everything you see is still in development. I think even some of the artwork might still be subject to change. The solo rules I'm pretty happy with. We've bedded them down nicely, but there might be some little tweaks as the game continues its final little bits and bobs of development. So with that in mind, I'm demoing a prototype with some rules that are subject to change, but I'm showing you it now because it's currently funding on Kickstarter. The campaign has started, it's already funded, stretch goals are being unlocked, and I think it's time we showed you how the solo game will work. Right, let's crack on. This is a game about designing and building a flying machine. It combines deck building with this rondel mechanism where we're doing action selections to alter our deck, test our flying machine, and trying to achieve the record 36 meters that will end the game and hopefully win us the game. We've got a maximum of 4 years to do this in. 1 year is a cycle of the rondel. I'll show you how this works, and we'll explain the actions as we go along. In the solo game, we're going to be playing against two other players, effectively. Alberto and Gustav, who work together as a team against us. This is my player map. We get to choose a character that we wish to play in this game. So there are lots of historical figures from the time, each one bringing its own little special ability. All right, so we're going to start with and be Wilbur and Orville Wright. Okay, so there they are. There's Wilbur and Orville on our player board. We're going to be the red player, so Alberto and Gustav will be grey and green together. Okay. This track here records how many meters we've flown on our longest flight. So it's not an accumulative track. It's saying when we test fly our flyer, how far do we manage to get it to go? Okay, so we place our little trackers here to record the maximum. These are our pilot pawns. These are used on the rondel and determine what actions we take as we step around. Now we're going to start those up here in these start spaces. We're going to randomly select the starting order. So we've got grey going first, and red. I'm red, and then green. Okay, so Alberto and Gustav are these two pawns, and that's me in the middle. We'll start with a certain number of coins. It'll be 5, 6, 7 in a normal multiplayer game. We're in the second place spot, so we're going to start with 6 coins. Again, these are prototype coins, right? Just pilfered from another game. So 6 coins. I'll show you how we use coins, but basically we'll use coins to upgrade our flyer with new technologies, friends that we meet, new skills and experiences that we've acquired. Our deck begins with 9 cards. This is like the marketplace of cards. Right, there's upgrades to our flyer, which is a shuffled face down deck. There's also a deck of problems that our aircraft can encounter. And then we've got a fixed set of single, these are called glide cards. They represent a distance of 1 meter glided. We've got experience cards, basic problems. These are 1 problem. All right, and then these 2 are shuffled. So we start our deck with 9 cards. We take 4 glides, 1 experience, 2 basic problems, and then 2 more critical problems. All right, we don't get to see what they are, and we'll shuffle those all together. All right, that's our starting deck. As I say, the game plays in a maximum of 4 years. We're going to start on year number 1. Each of these spaces is an action we can take when moving clockwise around the board. Actions allow us to do stuff like upgrade our flyer, do a test flight, repair any damage to our flyer, take skill cards, technical cards, or friend cards. We'll look at those in a second. And then there's this kind of any action here where we can spend a coin to take any action. When we move back to these start spaces, that's the end of the year, we'll get rewarded a little bonus for how far our flyers have gone. Whoever has gone the furthest will get 8 coins 6 for second, 4 coins for third and fourth. Like I say, in the solo rules, we're playing with 3 pilots in the game. If we hit this 15 spot, if we manage to travel 15 meters, then we become famous and the costs of some of these actions are reduced. Once the game ends, remember there's 2 end conditions. We reach the end of year 4, or someone has managed to reach the 36-meter milestone. Game ends. Everyone gets 1 final flight, and whoever's recorded the longest flight wins. Super stuff. All right. A little bit more setup to them. So we got 2. This is like an offer here, right? So we get 2 friends. These are different people that can help us, and these are people who are historically related to Wilbur and Orville Wright, as it goes. So this is Catherine Wright, the sister, or have links to or ties to the exploration of aviation. All right, so they're people who can help us. We've got these technologies or ways that we can upgrade our flyers. I've got ailerons here, takeoff catapult, all sorts of ways to enhance our flying machines. And then we also have these skills. There'll be 4 of these available. And these are like things that reflect the pilot's skill. Fly cautiously, for example, or a close call. All right, the little things that will influence our test flights. All right, let's get going, and then we'll see how we play the game. Now, typically, this market of cards over here, these are, like I said, these are upgrades. They've got random numbers from 2 to 5 on them. Normally a glide is just 1 meter, but these upgraded ones let us go 2 meters, 3 meters, 4, 5 meters. There's a little distribution indicator here to show you which are more common. So 3 is the more common, 3 meters. But in the solo game, these have a dual purpose. They control which actions Alberto and Gustav will move. Now remember, we're taking actions around this rondel. We're moving clockwise. Now typically in a multiplayer game, what happens is whoever's at the furthest most back is the next to go. And they can move their pilot pawn anywhere on this rondel. Okay, and goes as many spaces forward as they wish. But you can only ever move clockwise. So if you move just 1 space forward, then you've got a lot more actions available to you on subsequent turns. If you move lots of spaces forward, then you've only got a limited number of actions available to you, and indeed once you get all the way around, then the year ends for you and you can't take any more actions. All right, so the faster you go around, the fewer actions you perform, the year will end more quickly for you. Make sense? Okay. But of course, these actions that are nearest to you and less further around the rondel might be actions you don't want to take. The other thing is that once a pawn takes an action space, no one else can go there. So that's kind of like worker placement, right? Only 1 worker per space, 1 pilot per action, right? So if this pilot comes here and takes the repair action, if I'll come next and I want to take a repair, then I'll have to go all the way around here. And now I've missed out all these other actions. Do you see? All right. So what about the AI? What about the dummy opponent, Alberto and Gustav? How far do they go? Which action do they take? So what we do is we draw a card. They've drawn a 4. We move them 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, and they've landed on the test flight action. How does the test flight action work? In the solo rules, incidentally, if you're only interested in the multiplayer game, there's loads of great videos already out there that you can go and watch. Okay, in year 1 it says increase their flight record by 4. Place a coin on the adjacent repair action space. Okay, so the grey plane has gone a flight of 4 meters. That's their first in flight. They've recorded a record 4 meters flight. I'm going to place a coin here. Now these coins in a multiplayer game, they don't sit here on the board. Placing coins here on the board in a solo game is unique to the solo game. It's unique to Alberto and Gustav's action resolution, and it's a reflection. They don't have a deck, you see. They don't have a deck like we do, or a player board like we do. It's just a quick way to simulate the fact that some of these actions are getting upgraded as they go along for Alberto and Gustav. Right? That's all you need to know, really. Just follow the instructions. It's nice and simple. Okay. Now, every time we take a test flight, although they've gone 4 meters, did they go 4 meters and land safely, or did they go 4 meters and crash? For Alberto and Gustav, if there's any coins here on this space, perhaps because they've upgraded the flight action, test flight action on previous turns, then they would land safely. For Alberto and Gustav, if there's no coins here, then they crash. And when we crash a test flight, we lay our pawn down. What that means is next time it's this player's turn to act, they just have to recover. Right? They stand their pawn back up. Effectively, it loses you a little bit of time, but we'll see that in a moment. All right, who's furthest back on the rondel now? Who's furthest back this way? It's the red pilot, that's us. So now we finally get to take our turn. So, remember, we can move our pawn now. We can move it anywhere on the whole rondel apart from this space here, because that's occupied. Let's choose to move here and upgrade our deck. Now, this action has a cost. It says we can either play X coins or we can pay X time. There's a minimum cost of 2 for this action, so we can pay 2 or more coins or 2 or more time. If I pay 2, what that means is I draw 2 cards and I get to keep 2 cards. Okay, if I paid more, let's say I paid 4, I'd take 4 cards and get to keep 2. Right, so you can only ever keep 2, but you get to look at them and decide which 2 you want to keep. All right, now you don't want to take less than 2. Upgrading your deck is always a positive thing, right? So although this is a deck building mechanism, there's not really a notion of having junk that you want to get rid of. There kind of is, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because there's problem cards in here that we want to get rid of. But as far as these upgrades go, they're all positive, right? Anything that's got a number on is a positive for us, okay? And it's never a bad idea to have it in your deck. Okay, so like I said, I can pay 2 or more, and I can pay in coins. I started with 6, or I can pay in time. So I can pay 2 coins, or I can pay 2 time. If I choose to pay time, let's say I pay 2 time, then this is what these little clocks are about. What that means is I move my pawn forward 2 time spots. 1, 2. That means I've lost all these actions. I've lost an opportunity to take these actions. Remember, you can only move around this rondel clockwise. So time saves you money, but taking time means you can do less this year. So hence I'm going to pay this one. I'm going to pay 2 coins. Yeah, 2 coins. So I just draw 2 cards and I get to keep 2 of those 2 cards. So I'm going to keep these 2. A 3 and a 4. That's not too bad. 4s are great. Right, the highest is 5, remember. But 3's okay. It's not a 2. 4's good. All right, but anything is really positive, but higher numbers are better. So I place them in my deck. Then, after upgrading, so we pay our money, we draw that number of cards, we keep 2, we always take a critical problem. So this is like an added cost for upgrading your deck. You get 2 new good cards, but you also get a 2-star problem. But we'll find out what that is. That's hidden, right? We won't know what that is until we get to a test flight. Okay, next up, Alberto and Gustav. Green pawns at the back. They're going to go next, and they go 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And this says if there's 1 or more coins, remove them and add +1 to the flight record for every coin removed. So that coin goes and they add 1 to their flight record. So Alberto and Gustav, although they're working as a team, they've got 2 flyers, each recording their longest flights, right? But they kind of help each other out. So yeah, the repair action there got a little bit of a boost. The green plane flew 1 meter. Now the thing about Alberto and Gustav's tokens is they are kind of accumulative. So every time you add to their flight record, they just move 1 of their 2 tokens up, depending on which pawn is taking the action. So it's reflecting the fact that they're progressing, even though they're not actually taking a flight. They don't have coins, they don't have a card, they don't have a player board. Their flyers are moving up this board to reflect the progression around the rondel. Make sense? Okay. All right, back to us. Let's, well, I can't take the repair or test fly, so I could step beyond, move up, or I could take the opportunity here of kind of taking 2 actions in a row. So I'm going to go here. This time I don't have the choice of paying time, it's always coins. So it's either 3 coin or, if I've reached 15, if I'm famous, only 2 coin. Obviously I've not completed a flight yet. So for 3 coins I can take a tech or a friend. So I'm going to pay 2 coins, 3 coins rather. And, okay, what have we got? We've got landing gear, aluminium crankcase, we've got Tave Chanute and Heart O Bag. I'm going to take this guy. As an action, money's always good to get me going on these early turns. Coins become less of an issue as in the kind of final years, but this one might be able to give me a little bit of a boost. So I'm going to use him. All right. Now these guys kind of exhaust on your turn, and they can only be used once per year. So once he's exhausted, he'll only refresh once we get to the year end. So with my pawn in the position it's in, I'm actually going to use him right away. So it says, as of your turn, you exhaust, pay 1 time and take 4 coins. So I'm going to pay 1 time, which just moves me to this first clock, and I'm still at the back. And I'm going to take 4 coins. Alright, that's going to open up my game big time. Okay, it's still me, I'm still furthest back, and I'm going to move to this action, the any action. It's going to cost me a coin, but I can take any action I wish. So I'm going to take the test flight action. Let's pay the coin. So when we do a test flight, we've got to first shuffle up our deck. So we don't have any knowledge about what's where. Alright, so I know those upgrades have come in, 2 upgrades and 1 problem. Now, these test flights are all about trying to understand your flyer. So it's not necessarily, I don't necessarily want to maximise the distance I go. There are benefits to that. Obviously, whoever's flown the furthest at year end gets more coins as a reward, but I might be more interested in discovering those problems and taking the opportunity to repair them. So I think that's what this flight's all about. Let's find out what's wrong with my aircraft. Alright, so let's fly. This is the nuts and bolts of the game, if you like. So we've seen the rondelle, we've learned a little bit about the deck building. Now we've got the push your luck mechanism. This is the superb fun part of the game. We're going to reveal cards one at a time, and we can either stop and play our descend, or we can push our luck and push on and try and fly further. So the first card I've pulled is a glide. So I can, if I wish, end my flight right there and play my descend. And the only rule you have to remember is you can't play your descend as the first card. You have to have at least 1 card out. And once you start your descent, you play to the end of your flight, you shuffle your remaining deck, and then deal 2 more cards. 1, 2. If you hit 4 of these red stars, then you're crashing, all right? You crash land, and the descent adds 2 to your distance. Okay, so far we've moved 1 meter. A crash land would be 2 meters. That's 3 in total. If these 2 cards that we extra draw do not take us to 4 red stars, then we land safely, and the descent adds 5. Actually, there's one other rule you need to remember. Once we've played our descend, we can't use any special abilities of any other cards, right? So we can't use our friends, we can't use our tech or our skills to help us with our flight, right? So that descent is kind of like, well, off we go, let's see what happens. But I don't want to descend just yet. I'm going to push my luck. So let's draw again. Well, okay, we've hit our serious problem, one of our serious problems. It is pitch instability. All right, and there's 2 red stars. Okay, 2 more and we crash land. So I've done what I was trying to achieve. I found a problem. So I'm going to start my descent. Now notice this one also adds 1 to the distance. So far we've travelled 1, 2. We've started our descent. If we land safely, it'll be +5. If we get 2 more of these stars, it'll be a crash land. All right, let's see what happens. So 2 more cards. First card is an experience. Experience is not one of these skills. It's not a tech, a friend, or a skill. It has an ability though. It says +1 glide to your flight. You can use your experience on the descent. So we take 1 glide from the supply and we add it to our flight. Okay, that's one of our descents. And we draw one more. Okay, that's the first one. The second one comes next. Right, so far we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 9, possibly 6. Depends if this is 2 stars or something else. It's 1 star, okay, so it's 1 problem. So that's 1, 2, 3 problems during this flight. We still land safely, we didn't hit the 4. Okay, and our total distance then is 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've travelled 10 distance and we landed safely just. Okay, so our plane goes up to 10. That was the distance travelled. And we clear these up, they go back in our deck. We pull out our descend card because we're going to use that on our next test flight. And here's the cool bit. Any serious problems you find, pull them out. Right? These all go back in your deck. But these now are problems that have been discovered. They're still in your deck, but you have a chance to repair them and remove them from your deck. And that's how you cull these serious problems. Right, one more thing. Wilbur and Orville have a special ability. They say gain 2 coins and +1 glide card whenever you set a new flight record. We did. Our flight record is 10. It was 0 before. So we gain 2 coins. And we gain a glide that goes in our deck. All right, job done. That's our test flight done. Now it's back to Alberto and Gustav. So green pawn is at the back. They draw a 3. 1, 2, 3. They've hit the $5, the 5 coin spot. And the reference sheet tells us if they hit the 5 coin spot, add 2 to their flight record and place a coin on each upgrade action space. So it's the green pawn, they get 2 on their flight. So we're up to 3, and we place a coin here and a coin here. Now you'll get to know these as you play. They're simple enough that you will start to learn exactly what they do. But the reference sheet is here as you're learning. All right, who's next? This grey pawn. So Alberto and Gustav's crashed flyer now has to recover. Same rules as multiplayer. A let down pilot pawn stands up and moves forward 2 times. Okay, 1, 2, that's it. That's all they get to do. Back to me. Now, I'd like to go and repair this, but I've got quite a bit of cash available. So I might just skip around to this action first. This one costs 3 coins, or if I'm experienced, so if I've hit, or famous rather, if I've hit 15 on the flight record track, only 2 coins. So it's going to cost me 3 coins, and then I can take one of these 4 green skill cards. And I kind of like this one, fly cautiously. During a test flight, I can look at the top 5 cards of my deck, return them in the same order. So I get a little bit of a sneak peek about what's coming up. Right, at this stage, I think that's great. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to go here. That's cost me 3 coins. 1, 2, 3. Okay, who's next? The grey NG pawn. It's a 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the experience icon. Typically when you go here, you can grab one of these from the market, place it on your flyer deck. But for Alberto and Gustav, they add 2 coins to the space and then increase their flight record for every coin in this space. 2. So the grey pawn is going up 2. 2. Right, they're slowly catching up. Green pawn next. A 2. Okay. So 2. 1, 2. They can't occupy a space already occupied, so they just step forward 1 space and they're hitting the flight. There's no coins here, so they're going to crash. It's year 1, so I know it's going to be +4 to my flight record. Place a coin on the adjacent pair. Okay, crash land, no coins here. +4 to the green flight track record. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 7. Nice and simple. Okay, back to me. Now I want to take the repair action. So I'm going to go here. It's going to cost me 3 coins of 2 time. I've got 3 coins, so I'm going to spend those. I could skip 1, 2. That's quite along my head. I'm missing out quite a few actions. Yeah, I'm going to pay the 3 coins and repair. So to repair, you remove one of these severe problems and replace it with a basic flight problem, and then you perform what's there on the bottom here. It says repair, grab a green skill card. So that one's now discarded. He's out of the game, and I get to grab one of these green skills. I think I'm going to take close call. This one might help me later in the game. When you draw a severe or basic problem, remove 1 glide to shuffle that card back into your deck instead, so we can avoid a crash if we want to. Alright, next it's them. 4 grey is moving 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They've hit the upgrade spot. And when they upgrade, first to place 2 coins in the next flight spot. Then if there's 1 or more coins on here, move them to the next flight. Discard that many cards, 1. And then remove the 2 highest value upgrade cards from the discard pile. So we go into here, and this is like simulating them taking 2 cards into their deck. So they grab the 2 4s, remove them from the game. This deck is now kind of thinning down a bit. It's less distance in it. Okay. Right, that's them done the upgrade action. Alright, so you can see these flight spots are starting to push up a little bit. So let's see what happens next. Anyway, he's crash landed. So green next. He stands and loses 2 time. 1, 2. It's back to me. So I could now do another test flight. I could skip in here, but I don't have any money. So yeah, I'm going to do a test flight, which helps because that prevents them doing one. And yeah, cool. All right, let's do a test flight. And it's going to help me. So I still have some problems in my deck, right? I think I started with 2, I added 1. So yeah, there's still 2 severe problems in my deck. But I've got a couple of skill cards to help me out now. Well, I don't mind finding 1. I really don't mind finding 1. Let's see what happens. Right, first is a glide. Current flight record is 10, so we've got 10 to beat, ideally. Right, let's fly cautiously and see. No, actually, I'm going to wait till one of these comes out. Let's see what happens. 2. 7. No, I think I'm going to fly cautiously now. So it says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and return them in the same order. Then we'll decide what to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if I pay these 3 and then descend, if that's a red star, I'm safe. And we've discovered a problem. See how good fly cautiously is? And when we could grab this and then play this. But no, I'm going to play 3, then descend. Okay. And that should beat the 10 as well. Let's go. So 1, 2, 1 problem. 3, then descend. So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 5 is 10. I've got to play 2 more cards and hopefully beat 10, and I know I'm not going to hit 4 stars. Now I need to interject in the edit here because I made a little mistake. When you descend, it says shuffle your remaining flight deck before drawing 2 more cards. So I should have shuffled here. Okay, so I might not have drawn this. But there you go. For the sake of the demo, we're just going to carry on, let it slide. assume I did shuffle and we've been unlucky and drawn this power failure again. Though actually it's lucky. It's lucky because, yeah, we want to get these power failures because we want to get them out of deck. But yeah, I should have shuffled, so there's a good chance this wouldn't have come up. All right, but never mind. Let's carry on. A power failure. The first card. The second card is experience. Adds a glide to my flight. I've landed safely, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Super stuff. Alright, so this goes up to 13. Alberto and Gustavo will struggle to beat that, I feel. We take out any severe problems. And our descend card. These go back in. That goes there ready for repair. And these skills become available again. They're not like friends. These are once per year. These are once per test flight. So I could use this again in my next test flight. Right, a successful new flight record. So we get 2 coins. We'll be on Orville and another glide card. All the time these ones, these little glides, are extending my flights. Remember, I'm working up to try and get to 36. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Green pawn next. Let's see what he does. He draws a 2. 1, 2. That's occupied. Steps forward to do repair. If there's 1 or more coins, add them to your flight record. There aren't. Otherwise, move to and perform the adjacent flight action. If it's not occupied, it is. So they would move back now and try and do this test flight because they've got no power problems. They've not discovered any power problems. And those coins here, that's like they've discovered some serious problems. They haven't, so they'd like to test flight, but they can't because this is occupied. So instead, they place 2 coins on the next any. Okay, that's it. So it's like they've done a little repair. The next time they hit the any action, it's going to benefit their flight record. Right, who's next? Grey pawn gets a 3. 1, 2, 3 is the green skill action. With this one, they add a coin to the next flight action, so upgrading the next flight action, which is that one clockwise, and then they remove the bottommost skill. It's like they've taken that out of the game. Okay, then it's back to me. Now there's an any action here that I can use, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to pay a coin because it's going to cost a coin to take any action. And I'm going to take the repair action, and the repair costs 3 coins. I've only got 1 or 2 times, so I'm going to pay 2 time. Well, that's all right. These 2 little spots here allow me to pay the 2 time. Then I can remove this one from the game. It gives me an unknown upgrade card, so that one's gone. Replace it with a basic problem, and I get an upgrade card as a reward. Excellent. Next up is the green pawn. Now the only spot's available again because I had to pay time. That's the other downside of using time, is it frees up that action for the next player. They've drawn a 5. A 5 in this game, that's too big a leap. So the solo, whenever they draw 5, is the highest card. They just step forward 1 space. So the green pawn steps forward 1, but they hit. This is occupied, so they move forward to the any. And the any says it's year 1, +4 to their flight record. Remove any coins, +1 for each coin removed. So that's +4, +2 for the coins. That's +6. These get removed. And it's the green pawn is going forward 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they leveled with us. But we were there first, so that does help us actually. And yeah, there we go. Right, grey pawn next. So they're just going to go and fill in. There's no more actions available. They're going to fill in the first spot on the start space, then green, then us. And that's going to be the order for the next year. Grey, green, and then us last. So what happens at the end of the year? We reward bonus coins for whoever's furthest up the flight track. So we got 13, they got 13, but we got there first. So we get the 8 coins. They don't collect coins, remember, so it's just 8 coins to us having the highest flight record. In a multiplayer game, everyone would get coins, right? Even if the player's at the bottom, they'd still get some coins. They'd get 4. But we got a good stash. We managed to get all the way up there to 13. That's a good score. Okay, these get cleared. So these get refreshed, renewed. Incidentally, when they take the development card action, this one, the blue and yellow, they always take the bottommost. So when you're playing solo, just keep those in that order, and now just grab the 2 techs first and then friends last. These also get refreshed. So 4 new ones here. And then this upgrade discard pile gets shuffled back into this deck. Right? In a multiplayer game, you don't have a discard pile. At the moment, this deck is getting smaller. So when they took the upgrade action, they removed those 2 4s, and also we removed a couple of cards because we upgraded once as well. Alright, friends get refreshed, and we're ready for a new year. So grey would go first, and they're looking at a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In year 2, because we're in year 2 now, it's +3 to their flight record. Plus, that one moves over here, so that's +1, so that's 3, that's 4 to grey. They're up to 10. There was a coin hit, so they don't crash. And green also gets a 4. That's unusual. 2 4s in a row, odds are low, but it can happen. But what that means is when it happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, so they're going to go to here, take another any, which is kind of like a flight for them. So it's +3 to their flight record without risk of crashing. It's not boosted, so no more additional, but they've gone up 3. 1, 2, 3. So they've kind of, sometimes players will do that. They'll skip a little bit ahead and corner some of those actions, or maybe they'll pay in time and push them things forward. But what it does mean, obviously, is that I've now got free access to a couple of these actions. So I could do I've got lots of money as well, so I could do an upgrade. Let's pay 3. Let's play 4. Let's play 4 coins this time. Yeah, I'm going to pay 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I draw 4 cards, and I get to keep 2, remember? Oh, 5 and a 3. Beautiful. That really paid off. Those get shuffled back into the deck, right? Not to the discard. So it's actually draw them. So yeah, when you upgrade, there's a bit of shuffling. So those 3s go back in. We've made the deck a little weaker again. And remember, we've got to take a serious problem as well, which now we want to test fly and hopefully figure out what it is and repair it. But before I do, I'm going to go in here, get a development card, so that's tech or friend. We haven't reached 15 yet, they have, so it's still going to cost us 3 coins. But all these different development cards and skill cards, they really change up the game for you. I like these friends, but I don't know, let's take the ailerons. It says when you take the flight action, gain 2 coins. So every time we fly, we get a little monetary bonus. And this one doesn't exhaust. This is always in effect. Okay, always in effect. Because we are going to fly a little bit more, and our money's getting a little bit short down here. And we've got to try and push up beyond 16 now to get ahead of him. Let's see what happens. Anyway, it's my turn. They've collared to the flight and the any. I don't want to repair, so I might just skip to. Well, I said I'm short of money, aren't I? Oh, do you know what? Let's change that. This would have been good, but let's take a friend instead, because Edith has an ability. It says when moving your pilot pawn to an action space, pay a coin to take any action instead of the indicated action. So we can buy her. Now use her. Actually, just go here. Tap this, pay a coin, and we can imagine we've just taken the flight action. Should we do another flight? Yeah, we'll do another flight. So give it all a shuffle. Sure, I realised I did something wrong actually on my last turn. You're probably watching, and I've probably edited in a little edit, but when you hit play your descend card, you're supposed to shuffle, and I didn't shuffle. I did this, descended, and then I cheated, didn't I? I properly cheated. Yeah, but hopefully you've already seen me edit in a little correction there. All right, we'll try not to make that mistake this time. Let's fly. And start us off. We've got to try and beat 13 if we can to get Wilbur and Orville's ability kicking in. All right, we've started with a glide. That's good. Next, another glide. Okay, 2, possibly 7. Oh, 5, 6, 7. If I land now, that's probably 12, 13, 14. I'm going to descend. I don't want to go too far. Oh no, I do want to go a little bit further. I do want to go a little bit further. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have a look. Look, the next 2 cards are going to cause me to crash land. Well, do you know what? Maybe now's not a bad time to crash land. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll be able to see both of those problems. So 1, 2, I crash land. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I still get to record the flight. Well, I could choose to ignore it if I want, but I actually want these. 1, 2. So my flight is 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. I haven't increased my flight, but I have revealed 2 problems. Not a bad time to do it because I'm here. I'm at the back. I now recover and move forward 2 times. So that's it. I haven't lost a great deal. Yeah, I like that. And then I potentially got first pick at repairing. Interesting. Okay, let's move forward. So grey pawn next. I was gonna cut the video here, but I get so caught up in the game. 1, 2. Why don't we just play it out? So +2 to his flight record, and 1 coin on each upgrade spot. So this one's powering up nicely. Incidentally, for the solo game, in case we don't get to the end, when the game ends, we get a final flight with our deck. They don't have a deck, so what they do instead is they count how many coins are left on the board, and they add them to whichever flight tracker is furthest back. So at the moment it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we manage to end the game now, they would get 10 points added to this flight. Move it up to 22. So yeah, that kind of acts as their final flight. It's a nice little leveler as it goes. All right, who's next? This guy. Green is next. 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to add 2 coins and take 1, 2, 3, 4 coins there. 4 to his flight. So he's gone up to 20. So he's pushing on ahead. We've got to work on this. I kind of want a repair. So I might skip round here before he does. Oh, hang on. I haven't got enough money. So, where was I? I was here, wasn't I? What I might do, as my turn, I'm going to use this ability, pay 1 time and take 4 coins. Now, a multiplayer right now would probably look at this and go, he wants this action. I've paid 1 time and it's grey, pilot pawn next. So this is what makes up for their lack of intelligence, if you like. But he's going to go 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to fly. +3 to his flight record. 1, 2, 3. He's on 15. And he's crashed. Now it's back to us, and I can take the repair action. I can pay 3 coins. I can get rid of one of these failures. Which one do I want to get rid of? They're both the same. They both give me an upgrade card. So I'll get rid of one of these. Take a basic power problem to replace it. and an upgrade card as the reward. Green 3, 1, 2, 3. So he's going to place a coin on here. Remove the bottommost development card, which is that one. Grey stands up and recovers, moves forward 2 time back to me. I'd quite like to repair this one. So I'm going to take the repair action. I've only got 2 coins. So I'm going to have to pay in time. 2 time. 1, 2. Get rid of this. Place it in one of those. And draw this as a reward. Right, now he's got a lot of catching up that he can do. 2, 1, 2. So he's going to do a flight. There's coins here. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So he's getting 4. Shear 2 plus 3, so 7. Wow! I really shouldn't have let him do that. 27. Next. Oh, 5 is a 1. So this guy's moving in here. There's a coin here, so he removes 1 card. This moves onto here. Adds 2 coins to the next flight, and then removes the best 2 cards from the game, which I think is going to be a 5 and a 4. Yeah, 5 and a 4. Okay, then it's him again. Another 5. So he's going in here, he's grabbing 4. Takes him up to 19. Right, we're doing badly now. Green next is 2. He's taking the bottommost skill card, placing a coin on the next flight action. Then grey is a 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's moving in to the first spot. Green is moving into the next spot, and I'm last again. And that's the end of year 2. We're at the back. We only get 4 coins reward this time, and then we refresh these offers. And we're into year 3. Now, I've got a feeling we've got a pretty strong deck. But is it strong enough to win the game? Let's see. They're on 27. It's a tough target. I do have a quick correction to make. When they flew, they should have added a coin here. So there should be another coin here. Right, let's go. Grey pawn first. So let's shuffle that back in. Right, let's see what they're going to do. It's a 2. So 1, 2. Add a coin to the flight. Get rid of the bottom development card. Green next. A 3. 1, 2, 3. They're going to take 2 for their flights. 1, 2. They're on 29. And me. I'm going to fly. Let's see how it turns out. Do I want to upgrade first? I could upgrade and then fly. Let's do that. Let's upgrade and then fly. I might want to leave enough to repair. Let's go big. Let's go 5. Let's go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I get to keep 2 of them. Wow, a 4 and a 3. Shuffle these back in. I told you the deck was weaker. And then we get one of these critical problems as well. But I've got ways to deal with it, so that's why I wasn't bothered and thought maybe flying now is a good thing to do. Alright, double turns for me are always nice. Let's shuffle. And we're ready to go again. You ready to see what we did on our flight? Let's go. Let's go. So we're trying to beat 29 and we want to get it up ahead if we can. And we start with a glide. Always good. Next. I like to keep a little running total as well. And imagine I'm going to make a safe landing. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Trying to get up to 29. So 9 or maybe 30. Okay, we've got an experience. So we grab a glide from the supply. So that could be 11. Let's go one more. Oh, 12. It's one of those. Right, let's fly cautiously from here. Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to see any problems. Okay, so we're good, good, good. Let's keep going. So we're potentially on 12 so far. 15, 19. Another problem is going to come up. 20. 21. I think I can go again. 22. Possibly 22. Let's see. Let's go again. If I pull up a serious problem, I'm not going to crash because I've got this. 23. 24. 25. Ah! That's a crash unless I use this. Okay. So we have to remove the glide from our flight path. That goes out of the game, or back to the supply rather. And then we get to shuffle this back into our deck. So what do you think? Do we let it crash? Or do we descend? Or I don't know. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19. Possibly 24. It's quite hard. I think we might have to descend. At least then we'll get above 15. We'll get into second place. What do you think? At least we'll extend our flight record. Whatever happens here. So... choices. I'm going to go one more. Ah! We crashed. That was horrendous. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20. 20 it is. We didn't get a double problem. I didn't like that. So we don't reveal anything. 20 it is, which means we pip him. We have crashed though, so that lies down. Wilbur and Orbel's right, the Wright brothers' ability kicks in. We set a new flight record for ourselves, so we gain 2 coins and 1 glide. Okay. I don't like that. Let's go 3. This one. 1, 2, 3 is an any. An any on round year 3 is +2 on the flight record. So they've picked us again. Ouch. Green is a 2. 1, 2. They go into the £5 spots, which is a coin on each one of those, and +2 to their flight record. They're up to 31. They're creeping closer. We've got to recover. Lose 2 time. Grey goes again. 3. 1, 2, 3. They're going to get 6. Which takes them up to 27. Do we fly again? I think we do. Now, do we use Edith Berg's ability and just go to this one spot? Or do we take out this flight spot? No, I'm going to go and take this spot. Let's fly. Here we go again. Shuffle up. We've got our skills available again. Well, I could have bought a skill. Because we've upgraded, it only cost me 2 coins to buy a skill. Maybe I take a risk. I think I do. Let's go back. Let's do this. Pay 2 coins. We'll grab another skill. It's going to help me get a longer flight. I'm going to take Daredevil. Alright. Green next. 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, we knew he was going to do it. +2 on his flight record takes him up to 33. Places a coin here. And he crashes because there's no coins there. And now I want to fly So I'm actually going to go over to this repair spot. I'm going to use Edith Berg. I'm going to pay a coin to treat that as any action. I've got 1 coin left. And we're going to fly. And that took it away from them as well, so I'm happy with that. All right, we're ready to fly. Let's see how we do. Oh, what a terrible start. We can't use this because we haven't got a glide to get rid of it. But it is what it is. Let's go again. 3, 4. Oof, nice, that's 9, potentially 14. I'm going to go one more. 15. Just wondering whether I use devil yet. I'm going to go one more. 16. I'm going to go again. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, 17. Potentially 17. Yeah, we're nowhere near where we need to be. 18. So it's only, let me just check. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 13, right? If I land safely, it's 18. So 13, really. Let's go again. 14. Right, now I'm going to fly cautiously. Look at the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, we're going to crash. So we've got 5, 8. There's 9 there before we crash. Let's see. So we'll draw the 5. Now I'm going to do Daredevil. Look at the top 4 cards. We know what they are. Draw 2 and shuffle the rest back in. So I'm drawing these 2, shuffling these back in. So 3 and 1. Now I could get rid of this with a close call. 5, 3, 28. Which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to close call. I'm going to get rid of this glide. Shuffle this back in. And hopefully make a safe landing now. I'm going to descend. And we want 2 good cards. 1. Come on, an upgrade. 2, it's a 2. There we are then. So 1, 2, 3, 8, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 28, 29. It's got me ahead, but it's not quite enough. We're up to 29. Got a new flight record, so that's going in. I'm taking 2 coins. Jumped ahead a little. We haven't discovered any 2-pointer problems. Right. What can we do next? It's their turn. Grey pawn. It's a 3. 1, 2, 3. So boosting up this and removing development. Bottommost. Okay, this one stands. Moves 2 time back to me. Oh, I'm tempted to upgrade. Just get my deck a little tougher. I don't know. What do we fly? And try and bust that. Maybe 3940. I think we'll need. Let's try it. My deck's pretty good. Come on then. Let's go. If the game gets to round 4, I've got a feeling I'm going to lose. I think now is the time. Right, we start with a glide. 1, 5, 9, 13. It's going well. It's going very well. 18. That is 23. 19. Okay, we hit one now. 20. Let's use a Daredevil. Look at the top 4 cards, draw 2 and shuffle the rest into your deck. Okay, we've got 2 3s, a glide, and a basic flight problem. Shuffle these 2 in. Feel like we're kind of getting there. Right. Let's go for fly cautiously. I want to see what we're up against. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck and return them in the same order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's not good. Just ones. 3, 6, 76, 31. It's tough. It's tough. We've got to push on. So I've got those 2. Let's take these 2. The next one's going to be a red. I can use this. When you draw this, shuffle it back into your deck instead. So this goes. Shuffle it back in. Now we're up against 2. This is a good big gamble. I think we've got to descend now. But we're up against a huge risk. Oh dear. I think we're close. We're going up to 31. If we fail, if we crash, we could be above but not finishing the game, which is kind of good because that gives me another chance. Although we've got our final flight as well, right? Okay, let's descend. 2 cards. Oh, ouch. I didn't want to see that. All right, this is it. Will I get a safe landing or not? Yes, yes, yes. Right, it's not the 5. I'm sure I had another 5 in there. It's not the 5, but what have we got? We have landed safely. 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 25, 29, 33, 37, 38. That might not be what we wanted to see. 38. Let's see. 38. We're up here. We've ended the game. Now, we've beat the green player. But what happens is when you hit 36, the trailing plane now gets the final flight for A and G. And this is where they're going to storm ahead, I believe. Because they did it too well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah. They've gone up to 46. I let them go too far. So we do get a final flight. We get 2 coins and one of these from Wilbur and Orville. But I don't think we're going to make it. Let's see. I don't even think we've got enough in our deck to get to 46. We'll see. But this is the thing. I think this is probably the biggest defeat I've had, actually. But this is what happens when you're trying to demo and teach on camera at the same time. You lose your you lose your edge a little bit at how to play. But that's cool, all right? We know that the game can win if you let it. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to add the 5 in here. That's 11, 14, 15. I've got to get rid of it. I think it's unavoidable. So we'll use this. And then we're back down to 6, 7, 8. We're back down to 13. Okay. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 27, 32, 33. Let's do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take these two. Well, we're on 33, 34, 38. Oof, I've got to keep going, I think. I'm going to use this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives me another chance to shuffle. 38. It's looking good. 40, 41, 42, 45, 50. Actually, I don't think I'm going to play this. I'm not going to play this. I'm going to descend. What does that leave me with? 5, 6, 7, 8, 40, 41, 42. I need the next two cards to be that 5. Well, anything other than a red, but I think there's a lot of reds in here. Oh, there it is. Next one, anything but a red. Ah, man. Yeah, the odds weren't great. The odds weren't great. I had a 2 in 6 chance. That's a 1 in 3 chance. Well, the odds were good. 1 in 3 at the end of winning, but we crashed. What was our final? 5, 6. So I only get 2 for this. 5, 6, 7. Oh, we get this one as well. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 43, 45, 46. We've evened. We've evened their score. 46 place 46. Wow. And what happens in the case of a tie? Whoever triggered the game end is declared the winner. Wow, that was us. How we've managed to pull that off is pretty amazing. What a victory. That's the solo rules. That's First in Flight, and it's a beauty. It's great fun. Go and check it out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.